The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose.
They did lose.
The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. The Yankees
Turn
lose.
up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast.
Rays Rewind with El Bushman and Drew.
Jansen. That is into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Phillips has tied the game. Arose Arena coming around. Throw home. Now he stumbles. But the ball gets away. Tampa Bay wins it. Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero.
The sickest Tampa Bay Rays podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome back in, everybody, to the Rays Rewind podcast, the sickest Tampa Bay Rays podcast on the Sick Podcast Network. I am the great El Bushman. Joining me as usual is Drew. We've got a great show today. Of course, at the time of this recording, the Rays did sweep and completed their sweep against the New York Yankees, and now they are in a tie for first place in the AL East. It's a good day. I couldn't have thought for a better weekend going into recording this show, and then who we have on today, and then the Rays sweep the Yankees. I will be honest with you, Drew. I will be so honest with you. And make sure you go to our YouTube page at Sick Podcast Rays Rewind. Hit the subscribe button. I thought this show would be more grievances and more what are they doing podcast, but after this weekend, I'm like, oh, this is.
We were bringing on our special guest to make us feel better.
Yeah,
just to kind of get a little bit more excitement in the air.
To get a little more upbeat.
It's a cherry on top, and
yeah,
he knows a lot about beating the Yankees because they did a lot when he was playing. So I'm pumped right now.
All right, so let's get right into it. Rays fans, some guests come on once. Some guests you have to bring back. After last time he joined us, you already know we weren't done yet with him yet. So we're talking about the human highlight reel, the heartbeat of center field, a guy who made Rays fans believe every ball in the air had a chance. And one of our favorite guests we've had on the show, the one, the only, the outlaw himself, Kevin Kiermaier. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? Thank you for having me on. Anytime the Rays bust out the brooms versus the Yankees, it's always a beautiful thing. So I'm excited to talk some ball with you guys.
I came into this whole series kind of in a downer. They didn't really do well against the Cubs. It's been kind of shaky since the beginning of the season. That series against the Cubs was it's a homecoming. You win the game, first game home back, and then the last two, it's dude, what are we doing here? Errors galore, and then the Yankees are coming into town. The Yankees are hot right now, and then it was just sweep. And that's it caps off the weekend. It makes things going into this week all nice and fuzzy. It's man, I love this. And then what's great about it too is we've seen improvements with this team, which is really good too. It's not hey, we're kind of seeing the same old ball here and there. We saw a couple of miscues here and there, a couple of errors, but other than that, it's back to basics, small ball. They're bunting the ball, which Cash was saying they're going to do a lot of. Starting pitching looked great. Once again, the bullpen's frustrating the hell out of me. But Kevin, you've been there before. I mean, what does this do as a team, sweeping the Yanks going into this week after doing this whole weekend? What does that do to a team's morale going into that after that big sweep against the Yankees?
Yeah, it helps. It helps a ton. And Yankees are always they're that team, usually that team or a couple other teams every year that you look forward to playing and love beating them. And it just always feels a little bit better for whatever reason. But it's just one of those things that kind of solidifies confidence in yourself. It's early season and, individual wise, team wise, it's hey, we're sitting here trying to figure out, who are we going to be? What are we going to be about? And like you said, the Cubs series come off that and didn't play great, but they came to play this weekend. The Rays came to play this weekend, got the sweep. And once again, it solidifies confidence where it's hey, this is only 3 games, but we proved ourselves right now. We beat one of the best teams in baseball and we just beat them for 3 days in a row. And we're hands down better than them in all facets of the game. Let's build off this. And this is what the team that we can be when we're playing right and doing our things and coming, showing up ready to play. And that's the product of that. So good for them, and hopefully they just carry it into this week as well and keep it rolling.
Yeah, I've always been curious, like with Major League Baseball players, because as a fan, I think it's easy to get caught up in whatever happened that day. And for me personally, when things look bad, it almost feels like the team's never going to win another game. I mean, it's just like, how are we, how is this team going to how is the bullpen actually going to shut anyone down? Or, the fielding miscues, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But like just the mindset of a Major League Baseball player, you like with the Rays, you put yourself in their shoes. They start off pretty rough to begin the year. How do you reset, I guess, after, a bad week, bad couple series and coming in? Is it just part of the psyche of a major league player and part of being a professional? It's just something you learn over time, or can it be a challenge for some guys more than others?
Yeah, it can be. I mean, it can be so many different things because we're always like so impatient and we want our best like product on the field right now. We don't like slumping, we don't like struggling, we don't like going through team struggles. Like it happens to every individual, every team out there, and it's just how do you sit here and ride the waves throughout the season? And that's just the things that you have to navigate around throughout the whole time, obviously. But these guys, they got a young team blended with some vets here or there, so it'll be, it's going to be interesting to see, how they do throughout this whole year. But once again, like you build off little things like this, and like no matter what, at the end of the day, like whether it's good or bad, we know what we need to do. We know how we need to show up to the field every day, whether it's we're on a hot streak or kind of in between or a cold streak. We know exactly what we're going up against. And I always tell people, like the fans out there, I guarantee you no one cares more on that field than them players and them coaches who are investing their lives in this. And obviously we want to see them play great and play their potential always, but that's the beauty of the game where baseball, it's so stinking hard and you play against the best competition every day. So even when I played, I will always just say, hey, fans, see it through the thick and thin with us. With me, I was like, I promise I care more than anybody out there on that field. I will play harder than anybody. My results might not always be there, but I care more than you could ever even imagine. And I know I'm not on that team anymore, but I know that's how these guys think. I play with guys like Taylor Walls, Caminero, Aranda, Yandy Diaz. Like these guys care. Shane McClanahan. It's like this is our life. So it's one of those things. Let these guys go out there, play their game, support them, whatever way you can. But let's just sit here and see what they do throughout 162 and see where we're at. But a sweep off the Yankees early in the season, a lot to get excited about and say, okay, maybe they're better than what I thought or what they showed early in the season. Once again, that's the beauty of being able to play each and every day and seeing what team shows up more times than not.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people watch the show. I hope a lot of people watch this show, and I know they know my hatred for the Yankees. And whenever a sweep happens, it's like Christmas Day when you find that huge GI Joe toy and it's unwrapping, and it's like boom, it's great. Kevin, I wanted to get your thoughts. The starting pitching was rock solid throughout the whole series, especially Rads this afternoon. As a defender, you've been there. You've been played with some of the greats that have been with the Rays, especially for starting pitching. As a defender, how good is that, or how excited do you get playing behind rock solid starting pitching like that when it comes to these big series?
Yeah, it makes it so much easier when a pitcher's got a good pace going. I know we got the pitch clock and all that now, but when you have someone attacking hitters and going at them, you're kind of expecting them to strike guys out, but you're expecting action where they're not just nibbling and getting to a 3-2 count on every hitter. That's the beauty about Rash. He's going to go right at guys. It doesn't matter if it's Judge or whoever. He's going to come at you with his best, and it elevates the defense, and it just keeps us on our toes out there. Where in years past, like I said, you played behind them guys with not a great pace, so they're just kind of nibbling and trying to get guys to chase, and we're out there for 15, 20 minutes an inning. It's just like, hey, man, come on, attack. I promise your defenders will be way better behind you. But anytime you have a pitcher like that who's cruising and throwing with confidence and trusting the guys behind him, it just makes the game flow way better, and it's just like a contagious feeling. So when Rass is dealing like that, everyone else behind him is on point as well.
I feel like the Rays have always pitched Aaron Judge, and actually Giancarlo Stanton really well. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but this series, Judge hit the homer at the end of the game today to make it a 1-run game in the ninth. But what is it? Is that just a game plan thing, or is that just something that is that? I mean, just the quality of pitchers, obviously the Rays have had, but what is it about certain guys? It seems like the team will either, like certain superstars like that, they seem to really have a great game plan against and execute well versus, there's been some other guys in the past. I think Mike Trout for one, even Juan Soto to a certain extent, just can never seem to overcome. But for some reason, Aaron Judge, Stanton, guys like that on the Yankees, they've always had success. Is there anything that is just the secret sauce of the Rays that I guess that maybe we into, but I don't know. I'm just curious, like you being behind the scenes in some of those conversations.
Yeah, you sit here like Judge he's gonna do his thing, and he's gonna. I've seen him look absolutely terrible at the plate, and there's still so many times where I just feel like he's gonna hit a homer every time he's up there. But like each team and every team like has their. I'm not a pitcher, but you sit here like like when they used to go over the advanced, we'd always have it in the weight room at the Trop, and I would sit there. I'd be in there sometimes, and it's always interesting for me to hear like Kyle Snyder and other people say, okay, this is how we're going to attack so-and-so. And, guys like that, it's like pitchers know that, hey, we cannot make mistakes on these guys or they're going to make us pay. So you sit here, you have to attack though. And once again, you're going to like Judge is going to hit homers against you. He's going to do damage, but you got to sit here and just try to get him off balance. Giancarlo, the other guys throughout the line. Yankees have a good 1 through 9, but talking about those guys specifically, it's just saying, hey, let's make these other guys beat us. We don't want Judge to beat us. Like, number one, we cannot have Aaron Judge beat us. We want someone else to do, and if that happens, we can live with that. But it was interesting, like watching the games. I saw like he hasn't got a hit like off an off-speed pitch this year, I believe. So those are like change-ups and splits. And I saw the Rays. I mean, they gave him a steady dose throughout the whole weekend. And I mean, he didn't have the greatest series, hit a homer today. But you sit here and just are so methodical, like what your pitcher can do against their guy. And once again, that's the beauty of the game. It's like it's so cat and mouse. And I mean, so many people have so much time digesting, hey, how are we going to attack this guy? How are we going to make him not locked in? I don't care what he does after he leaves here, but how do we slow this guy, and that guy down to give us the best chance of winning?
Yeah. One guy that had, I think you could maybe consider him the MVP of the series was Chandler Simpson. He's starting to become a superstar. I mean, it's starting to get the names getting out. A lot of the X guys on Twitter have been kind of tweeting him out and everything. Does that bring a big smile to your face? I know you came in this offseason to work with him. How excited have you been, just to watch him kind of like emerge as this maybe a star in the making that he's doing right now?
For sure. I mean, it makes me very happy. I love watching good people being rewarded, and he's put himself in great situations, opportunities throughout his whole career, but especially now, just how he continues to grow and develop as a baseball player as a whole. But man, what he's doing, like, people know the speed and all that, but man, like the more you just sit here and watch, like, man, righty, lefty, velocity, off speed, he just has that ability to put the bat on the ball. And right now the hits are falling, the line drives, he's kind of scattering the ball.
Don't let
electric
him bunt the ball.
On the bases. Yeah, I know.
Don't let him bunt.
That's right. Electric on the bases, made some nice plays defensively. And I watched him throughout all of spring training, and he's a guy still so raw in so many ways. And for how good he is right now, it's like, Rays fans, let's have fun watching this guy and see what he can do as time keeps moving on. But right now, playing phenomenal. I hope he keeps it up. I heard Kevin Cash say earlier, like a couple weeks ago, he said Chandler Simpson right now is not our leadoff guy. Like, he's just not. But I think he's plugged himself in that conversation. And I know like Yandy is amazing as well. But you got to sit here, and Kevin Cash and like Neander and everyone at the Rays is so good at like putting people in a position to succeed in that lineup. But to have him get 4 or 5 at bats a game and the way he's swinging right now and what he can do on the bases, I mean, it's hard to take him out of there.
Yeah, Drew and I were talking about how the variations of the lineups could be, and we were kind of talking like, look, you can put Chandler at 1 or maybe put him at 9, but like I love the fact that, and it was a big conversation the past couple of weeks with Kevin Cash and his lineups recently because of just how you have Junior at 4th instead of 3rd, and then you should have Chandler at the top, and now it's kind of, hey, look, and I to me it was like, okay, I think Cash is just trying things out and seeing how they are, and I love the fact that Chandler leading off, and look how the impact was on that. I know, Drew, you're gonna ask kind of regarding those types of situations, right?
Well, maybe, but all I can think about right now is I listen. I know I'm not smarter than Kevin Cash or Eric Neander, but it was the most obvious lineup order to say like, "Hey, Chandler, let's get you at the top. Let's get him in front of Junior, Yandy, Jonathan. However you want to order those guys is fine with me. You got your 3 best hit, or now I guess Chandler included 4 best hitters in a row. I'm just glad he took advantage of the opportunity. So I hope moving forward that it's not even a question. Yeah, I guess I'm, like with the lineup decisions, is that something that is we kind of hear you hear in baseball a lot, analytics, fans will complain, oh, it's just the front office feeding stuff to the manager. Like I get the sense that the lineups are a lot of, I mean, it could be different now than when you were here. I understand that, but I get the sense he's really got the keys to kind of figuring out what he wants to do with the lineup and the roster as constructed. It's it's not a Moneyball situation where you got Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill sitting in there in the tunnel saying, "Hey,
he gets on base."
And what? Well, the lineup decisions were just a key storyline that a lot of fans were. It just didn't make much sense, and we just don't ever get those answers in the media.
Yeah,
it's hard to really understand because we don't get that information. We don't understand like why are we putting Chandler 5th right now? Like that just, it's just
and here's my thing on that too. So first while we're talking about like lineup and where people hit the Rays, I don't know if there's a stat to this, but like when I was there and there's always a method to the madness, and Kevin Cash has been there long enough now. I mean, all the years I was there where we never, like, I don't think we put the same lineup out, like an identical lineup out ever. And it was like, okay, Joey Wendell was playing second base instead of third base. There was always like discrepancies and weird things like that. So the Rays, and we won so many games because of it. And I always say, hey, like there's a method to the madness. There's nothing orthodox about the Rays operate unorthodox, and that is okay because they're just creative for years now with like trying to win games, and obviously they have done that, so it's like why even question it, no matter like where people hit. But that's the like Cash and Neander, like they're creative and they're okay with like switching things up. And when you're sitting here, like especially with pretty young team and not guys who've been there for a while. It's like, hey, when you come here, hey, you might be hitting 1st today. You might be hitting 6th tomorrow. Like just see it through. We're going to get a lineup as consistent as we can, but there might be days with matchups where it's completely different, but that's our formula for success. And that is what we do. We just ask you to buy into it and know that this is what we feel like is giving ourselves the best chance of winning each and every night. Now, with all that being said as well, even for me, for years, I'm like, I don't even know how the lineup is being made. And Cash would get upset and be like, I make the lineup. Like, okay, well, I don't, you hear a lot of these things of the players, and like, it's not like we're a part of these meetings or whatever. It's like when a game is done, you sit here, shower, or whatever, and as you're eating or whatever, the bench coach is going to walk around and he's going to go up to you and say, hey, KK, you're in there tomorrow, or KK, you're down, you're not starting tomorrow. But so it's like, hey, okay, I'm in there, I'm playing center field. They don't tell you where you're hitting the lineup. It's just, hey, you're in there, be ready to go type of thing. And you show up, and once again, it helps like to have consistency in so many ways. Like, man, I want to know where I'm going to hit. Yeah. But once again, at the same time with the Rays, this is how we've operated for years and years. And I'm sure those guys have no issue with it. But it's just like, hey, we're trying to get a feel for what gives us the best and how do we create momentum and left, right, once again, there's a method to all this, what they're doing. And they have, like with the payroll and all that, it's like you have to be creative in so many ways. So I love it. I loved it when I was there because I was like, whatever, man. We don't have to be orthodox. As long as we're celebrating, high fiving after the game, that's all that matters.
I was going to ask you, did that ever bother you at all, like because you didn't know when the lineup was going to be or who was going to be in the lineup before the game, or you were just like, hey,
No,
man.
I wanted to play. I know other guys would get upset about that because guys like enjoyed hitting in certain areas, and I guess I had a comfort too. I enjoyed hitting 7, 8, 9 more than anything, but I hit everywhere besides cleanup my Rays career. Like I hit 1, 2, 3, like 3, probably 4 or 5 games, which is unheard of. But it's like, hey, if you're hot and Cash likes you and you're playing with confidence, he's like, I don't care. I don't care if you bunt, do whatever.
If for me, I'd be like, look, I'm just happy to be here, man. Just put me wherever.
Yeah, exactly. As long as I was playing and out there, like I didn't care where in the lineup I was hitting. I wanted an opportunity.
I forget who was against. I have a random memory. I believe the team was scuffling offensively, and they put you in leadoff one game at the Trop, and you opened up the game with a triple down the right field line. I can't remember. I think it might have been the Athletics. I don't know. It's what I'm seeing in my mind, but I remember it was one couldn't score any runs, and they threw you into the leadoff spot the next game, and you like first at bat triple down the line, and it. I remember.
And there'd be times where like I feel like I had to pull, or I could think out loud to Cash, be like, hey man, I know I haven't had, or I could just be like, hey, hit me lead off, man. Let me create a spark. Like I'm tired of what we've been doing, but let me do this. And there was times where I really wanted that, and like he was always cool about that. But that's the part where you sit here and want to hear what your players have to say, like where guys want to hit and this and that. But at the end of the day, hey, I don't care if you want to hit 2. We got you hitting 4 today. Whatever. You're the player. Just go out there and freaking play and shut up. Cash will say those exact words too.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of the Rays way, fielding has always been a strength for the most part. This year got off to a tough start, right? I mean, it's evened out a little bit over this weekend. They looked a lot better against the Yankees fielding wise. I think maybe just one error this weekend. But they still lead the majors with 17 total, and they had the first week and a half was awful baseball in the field. Kevin, actually, quick trivia. Do you know how many errors you had in your whole career? I looked it up.
I think it was 50 something, which seems
that's high. Actually, I think that's higher than what I think it was. No, I'm pretty sure it was 31 is what I read.
Okay.
That's a good giveaway.
I'd be much happier than that. I feel like I remember seeing it years ago, seeing 50 something. I'm like, man, that's a lot. But I always said, you know what? I always wanted to be an aggressive outfielder. I never wanted to be passive. And I definitely would like to have plays that I'd like to have back, but I never want to be like that guy, like being proud of like 0 errors throughout a season. It's like, yeah, as an outfielder, like we don't have a whole lot, but I never really cared because I'm like, look, I'm going to help us way more than I'm going to hurt us. And if I make a bonehead error, like usually it was like overthrowing a cutoff where someone's advancing, stuff like that. But, they happen, but you want to sit here and play like good fundamental baseball because that's contagious as well. And I was, that'll be interesting. I hope it was 38 or 31 instead of 50 something.
Yeah, well, so I just did a quick look. So all levels, minors and majors, in the outfield, it's got you at 54 errors.
Okay, maybe that's what I saw.
Outfield, all your major league career outfield is 31. So the Rays currently are more than halfway to your career total of errors in just 3 weeks. So that's my takeaway. But anyway, so you've obviously, though, I mean, as great a fielder as you were, I'm sure at times with the Rays or just in Blue Jays as well, and Dodgers. I mean, teams go through times where just errors kind of pile up. What's that like in the clubhouse? Because I got to imagine it's super. I mean, it's obviously frustrating as a fan to watch, but how is there accountability, or how do you approach trying to fix something like that when some of the errors that we've seen with the Rays, like Junior's, it's a mechanical thing on the throws. He's throwing the ball past first base, down the line, whatever. We're just kind of seeing sloppy plays from the outfield, throws into the infield. Is that just like, all right, hey, we're going to really ramp up prep before games, or is it just same routine? Like, how do you approach that as a player when things are going so poorly, especially at the beginning of the year, which I'm sure is even more frustrating.
Yeah, yeah. Beginning of the year, I mean, going off a very small sample size, so everything's magnified. Yeah, I mean, like I just said a little bit ago, you want to play good, solid, fundamental baseball, and like that's the product that we want to put on the field. We're major leaguers. We're really good at what we do, but things are going to happen, and like especially infielders are going to get all the errors. Like shortstop and third base, they lead teams every year. I mean, just playing on that side of the diamond, it's tough. So it's like when guys are making errors, and if it's just like a baseball play, it's like, all right, whatever. And you get past it. It's not like you're going to sit here and bash a guy for now. And now if you cross that line though, it's like, hey man, you got catch the ball or throw the ball. Like what is going on? But it's like when a guy's like lazy over and over, trying to be swaggy, doing something where it's just like, look, man, you got the wrong thoughts. Like this is not how we win games. But more times than not, it's guys out like just things might happen and yeah, it's frustrating because we want to make all the plays, but baseball works in weird ways where it's like they come in clusters where you can go play a game and might have one or two errors in a week span, and then another time you got like 5 to 10 errors or something in a much shorter span. That's why like this game never makes any sense, but you're not going to sit here and like bash someone. It's like the infielders, they take ground balls every day, like a couple times a day. Like that's all they do. Outfielders, we're out there shagging. Like we're sitting here doing what we have to do. It's just things do come up, and more times than not, it's like a little bit of lack of focus or, other things can happen. But you expect so much out of yourself and your teammates where we demand perfection. When you don't have it, it is very frustrating, and you can see how it can kind of snowball a little bit. And, that's when things can really go sideways. So Rays are built off pitching and defense. So even right now, probably hasn't been the best, but I know that will improve as time goes on. I mean, start out the season on a road trip in the cold weather. Now, back at the Trop and kind of getting acclimated a little bit more. They'll be all right. Hopefully clean that up, because you don't ever want to give the opposition any extra chances. And the Rays are always going to be the team that are going to have to do the little things right.
Right.
Kevin, going into the series against the Yankees, I mentioned this before that, hey, after the Cubs series, I thought this conversation with you would be totally different. We'd be like, okay, what do they need to do after probably dropping 2 out of the 3 against the Yankees? But now it's kind of like a shift. What do you think after that series against the Cubs, and you've been there before, about, hey, had a bad series and now you're going into a big series against an AL East rival? What's preparation? You guys fire each other up? What's the preparation like? Hey, we got to maybe rethink a few things, we tweak a few things. What's that mentality going in like, especially going against the Yankees? Because when the Yankees come into town, it's a whole different ballgame. What's that like? Behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I said a little bit ago, like, hey, it is they're like Yankees always get us excited. Just for all the history that's been with the two teams, and like if you're a Rays player all them years, like it's like, hey, you never know when fireworks are going to happen. You never know what's going to go on. But at the end of the day, like there is slightly more motivation, rightfully so, rather than compared to like playing an AL West team or something like that. But with that being said, though, it's like we come to whether we're playing the Yankees or the A's or the Marlins or the Rockies, like we come to play, and like there is that excitement, that adrenaline. We are trying to dominate the opposition each and every day. So like that's just our demeanor, and it's just like, hey, like we're used to showing up. It doesn't matter who we play. It's just like, hey, man, we got to come here prepared, win a game. This is a huge opportunity, no matter who we're playing, and like that's just the precedent or the standard that is expected out of everyone each and every day. Where it's like, hey, yeah, you guys played great against the Yankees, but it's not like the guys were more motivated against the Yankees and the Cubs. It was just like, hey, let's beat these guys, and okay, then you win the first game, and then you win the second game. It's like, okay, we won the series, now let's sweep these guys. So everything worked out perfectly. But even as they play this week, I guarantee they're going to take the field with the same amount of excitement as what just happened these past 3 days. And these guys now, it's like, hey, let's sit here prove to each other how good can we be. Like, yeah, we just beat the Yankees, but cool, anyone can do that. Let's keep this thing going, and let's keep beating whoever's in front of us.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, especially with the amount of Yankees fans that are at Tropicana Field. Nothing, puts a smile on my face when that happens when you beat the Yankees.
Of course.
The dumb Yankees fans that come to our home. So.
Listen, I gotta say, sometimes I think that's a bit overblown. They have Yankees fans at every away game. I mean, you hear Yankees fans at every stadium.
Yeah.
So I always hated when.
Yeah, but Drew, it's a bigger light when it comes to the Rays and to the Trop because of obviously.
I know. I'm not ignorant to the fact that half the people that cheer for the Yankees at the Trop have never watched the Yankees play baseball before anyway. So I digress.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Trop, though, obviously they returned, and it looks great on TV. I know, Kevin, you said you caught some of the games this week, and it was just great to be back. We were talking last week leading into the home opener. The Trop gets a bad rep, obviously, like for all the reasons that everybody knows already. But as fans, we were just talking about how much we love it. I mean, I love watching a game there, and the field's like my section, and I love being there. Obviously, you're still in the area. At least at some points during the year, I don't know how year round, but obviously I just would love to hear from you, like what the Trop means to you.
Oh man.
Now that it's back in action, even if it's only for a few years, like I think I speak for all Rays fans. It felt so great to be back there and just to even watch games on TV with that backdrop, and it looks good, but I just would love to hear from you, like what, like.
Oh man. I love the Trop, man. That I've always said that's my home. My home away from home, and it will be forever for me. I mean, I feel like I was born there in so many ways. Like, I was a 31st round pick. I wasn't I was never a prospect, or maybe for a small portion of my minor league career, but I never was like that guy. And like when I got to the Trop and like solidified myself my rookie year, and like all the fans loved me from the get go, I was like, man, there's no place that gives me more excitement than running that field than taking the field at the Trop, bottom of the first. Like when we get introduced, here come your Tampa Bay Rays. Like no one got more hyped than me running out there, and like took more pride in that. I love the Trop, and I've heard people bash it for every year of my life. And I'm like, whatever, you guys can. I love it. I don't want to be anywhere else other than here. I love playing here. I totally understand. Like, definitely would have liked to see more people in the stands at times, but whatever. I appreciate the people who came out. I love the Trop, man. It's great to see baseball back there, and that place will always have a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
I'm going back. I think the end of this month when they come back and play Minnesota. So it'll be my first time going back there. And I heard it's a lot brighter in there too, which makes catching balls in the outfield even more tough.
It looks great. I still want to go. I want to go and kind of work with the outfielders and just kind of see things again. But I got the gold card for your 8 years of service time, so I'm definitely going to go back. I got 3 kids. I wanted to try to get to opening day and one of the games this weekend, but I wasn't able. But hopefully I can bless the Trop with my presence and go there the first time, not as a player at all. Like I was there as the Rays and then Blue Jays. I want to go as a fan and just watch and obviously root on my Rays, but I look forward to getting there.
Are you okay with having the wild card banner being all in one instead of having the wild card banners individually? Because they put them all together. They put them all together into one thing.
To be straightforward about this. Hold on. When you guys, when they would unveil a wild card banner, like I have a great example. Oh wait, you weren't there in 2023. Oh dang! They would unveil these wild card banners after the most depressing wild card series ever.
Yeah.
Please tell me that the players look at that. They got to think like,
I'm not. You sit here, it's like, hey, I want to. When I see a banner drop, I want it to be World Series champ, or it's like we're sitting here like, and I'm not even trying to hate or bash. It's just like, you sit here, it's like, man, we're celebrating this, and we got swept, and we didn't even get out of that round or whatever. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of weak in a way, but whatever. Like it's like you got to sit here and like kind of commemorate last season, like some of the fans like that. But as the players, we're sitting here like watching this stuff. We're like, all right, we got to
Kevin,
win this World Series. We
as
got to show these people what a real banner is.
Kevin, as fans, nobody like that.
Okay.
Trust me.
We felt
All right.
embarrassed too.
Yeah.
I mean, I will never forget being there in 2023 opening day, and they unveiled a wild card banner for 22, and I was like,
Yeah,
Guys,
as we got swept by the Guardians.
we scored one run in like 30 innings of baseball, whatever it was. Like, we cannot be making this thing. So
the amount of social media roasting from Rays fans about that
secondhand
was
embarrassment.
So
Was all over that.
Yeah.
series.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, we're happy we at least got there, but obviously the result and everything, it's just like, come on. Like,
new ownership, like they're on Twitter a lot, so I'm sure they looked at Twitter and was like, okay, that's a pretty good idea. So let's do
I was wondering. I mean, it's 2 weeks in, Kevin, and I know you were retired last year. You didn't play last year. Do you like when opening day was around? And I want to ask you before we wrap up about your MLB Network work, but you were there for opening day for that at MLB Network. But real quick before we get into your time on TV. Do you miss it playing?
Yes, a ton.
Because I was about ready to ask you if you could come suit up this year with the Airs that feel.
No. The quick answer is no. I cannot play anymore. Do I miss it?
It's not going to be as hard on your body. I promise.
What if they did come to you and say, "Look, man, we need some help. Hey,
we need."
I would say I am thrilled that you guys think of me that highly, but there's someone else better out there right now. I'm so far past all that. I'm just trying to sit here and just stay in shape as I can right now. But I mean, my playing days are long gone, and I don't even want to sit here and act like I can do something that I know I can't.
What if?
But I do miss it a ton, though. I miss it a ton.
Hypothetically, if they're making a playoff run, and they go, hey, roster's expanding. Hey,
they don't expand like they used to though. It's only like one or two guys.
I'm just saying if they give you the call, they go, hey man.
Hey,
I would still, I mean, I could still play defense. I actually might have to get right hip surgery like in the next 2 weeks.
Oh no.
But I still like run around and like I'm really good at getting by. I've had these torn labrums since 2021. I played all of 2021 with 2 hip labrums torn, cortisone shots, and then 22 I couldn't do anymore, and finally got like surgery on my left one. That ended my Rays career. And they said, okay, hopefully about 10 to 15 years down the road we can take care of your right one because we don't recommend doing simultaneous surgery on both at the same time. I was like, all right, cool. But here we are now. So I think I'd be on the 60-day, guys, come September. So, which I'm not. I've been on the 60 a few times in my career, but I would have to be on it again, though.
That's all right. You rehab, getting that paycheck.
You heard it here, Rays fans. He's not ruling it out. He's not ruling it out. Rays fans.
Well,
you heard it here first on Rays Rewind.
No, but that's. I mean, it's cool to hear you still miss it. I mean, I know it's only been a couple of years, but I'm sure you get the.
Yeah, someone asked me that the other day, and I said there's nothing better than being a player in the major leagues. Like, even like all the coaches are like, hey man, like coaching is cool. You got to be around this every day, but there's nothing like showing up and being a player in the major leagues. And I knew that for all the time I played, and I knew when I was like looking at retirement, I'll be like, man, I'm gonna miss this stuff so much, and still to this day I do. The adrenaline, just the camaraderie, just being a part of a team and chasing after that World Series, and like just being obsessed with your craft and doing it with all your teammates and those guys putting their bodies through what they do, and the plane rides, everything, man. It was the best life I could have ever asked for, and I'm glad I got to do it so long. And I definitely, like all the old guys back in the day used to tell you, man, you're so lucky, enjoy this as long as you can. And then here I am now where I'm like, man, I'm telling these young guys to soak up every little bit of this, because it's crazy how when it's gone, you miss it so much and you never think it'll be gone, but one day it'll be there.
Yeah. When you go back as a fan to the Trop, where are you gonna sit?
Yeah,
I don't know. I still, like with that gold card thing, I still don't know exactly how that works. I thought it's like maybe two of the best tickets available that weren't purchased, maybe. Like, I don't know. I reached out to a couple people last year and no one had answers. I'm like, man, haven't you guys been retired 3 or 4 years? You don't know anything about this. So I still got some questions I gotta ask
just
and
give Brett
figure out.
give Brett Phillips a call. He'll get you hooked up in a suite or something.
Yeah.
I'm not paying. I'm not paying for any tickets, especially at the Trop.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He'll get you in a suite. I'm sure.
My blood and my skin cells are still in that turf somewhere from all the catches I made. I deserve a suite there for life, if you ask me.
Hey, I don't disagree. Well, when you do get to a game, you'll have to let us know how it worked for you with the gold card. We'll have to check in with you.
I will.
But yeah, man, MLB Network. I think we're gonna maybe wrap up on this, Evan. I don't know if you have any more, but you were on there for opening day. I think in like the opening night game that they had in San Francisco. First of all, that's awesome. What was that experience like? Different than what you thought it would be? Harder? I mean, what was that like? Because you were putting some hours there on TV.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. I've always kind of been comfortable in front of a camera and just kind of being authentic. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to be anyone I'm not. I just try to answer the questions genuinely and like just myself. But yeah, there's definitely certain things that are easier for me to talk about than other things, or like certain segments that they have me do. I definitely like have a comfort level, but just trying to see how good I can get at and see if I have a future in it. MLB Network is kind of the same. They've been requesting me for a little bit, and I said, I got to stay busy, and this will help me stay connected within the game. So I told them I'd do it for this year and just do it like 3 or 4 days a month. So it's real easy and not a whole lot of time obligation. I told them, I said, man, I got 3 kids at home. There's only so much I can do. So if you guys allow my schedule to kind of be like structure it to me, then we can make it work. So they were able to make it happen, and they've been great to me. So
awesome.
Once again, just trying to figure out life after baseball and see, what I want to do. And I'm still trying to do the outfield LLC stuff and trying to get that going, but it's going to be hard for me to do that if I got to get right hip surgery here in a couple weeks. So I got to keep all that in mind, but we'll see. Once again, just trying to navigate where to go and how can I stay connected within the game in whatever way possible. Right now, like TV is a way in for me, and hopefully a couple other things happen whenever.
Yeah,
I'm sure you could throw the Rays a line and say, "Hey, man, I'd love to be on the Rays broadcasting team." You and Rich and Doug.
No,
man?
I've been asked about that as well. But once again, I told you I can't work full time. I gotta. While my kids are at the age they're at right now, it's just
chaos.
It's hard for me. Yeah, I can't even sign up for that because I'm like, man, part of the reason why I retire is so I can be home and do all this. But as long as I can just like mix in some baseball things here or there, I'll be a happy man. But be home with my kids and my wife and be a full-time dad. That's what means the most to me right now.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Well, Kevin, thanks for coming on the show again. You can catch him on social media. He's got Instagram. He's got Twitter. But once again, welcome to the Rays Rewind podcast, because Tampa Bay Rays podcast on the Sick Podcast Network. If you guys haven't heard, we still have a Jonathan Aranda giveaway going on right now. So if we get to 300 subs, you get that autographed card from us. Once again, it is at the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind. We'll see you once again on the Rays Rewind podcast. See you.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Rays Rewind with El Bushman and Drew on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.